Hey there, everybody. I am Debbie Crowley from Expressively Deb, and welcome. Thank you for stopping by today. I'm showcasing the new Fitting Florets Product Suite that is part early release, part added products for the holidays. So, okay. So, this is the card base. The card base is Blushing Bride. And I cut it 4 inches across by 11 inches down in length. And it is scored at 2 3/4 inches and 5.5 inches. So 2 3/4 and 5.5. What you're going to do, this is an easel fold. So what you're going to do is fold your card base in half. And then the 2 3/4 inch scored fold, you're going to fold that in toward the center, and that will create your easel. I don't know if you can, I guess this angle might be good. So the card front will stand on the front of the easel. Front of 2 identical card layers, 3 7/8 by 5 3/8 in length. Okay. And then 2 designer series paper, whatever pattern you choose, that will measure 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And then there's another small piece that is going to go inside the card. This is going to be the writing layer. So this one is, of course, 3 7/8 inches across, and it's 2 5/8 inches in length. And that is your cutting. The other cuts that I did were the frames, which we're actually going to do this first. We're going to assemble, finish the assembly on this. So I die cut out of thick basic white cardstock. I cut 3 of them. And then this oval actually is in the center of the frame, so that will come out. I stamped the oval with Evening Evergreen ink. And then I cut a couple of more layers of thick basic white, stamped it with Evening Evergreen ink. So going to do the oval frame first. This is the frame that sets on the front of the card. And what I did was, because I wanted the sentiment to set in, I don't know if you can see that, but it's recessed inside the oval frame. So what I did was I die cut using the large die from the Frames and Festive dies. And that's this die that I used, the large ornate die. It's really pretty, very detailed. And when it cuts the oval in the center, there's embossing around the oval, so there is a lot of detail in this, in all of the dies. In fact, all of the ovals, they're beautiful. So I used thick basic white cardstock, and I cut 3 of these. Now I glued 2 together, one on top of the other, before I started the video earlier, and I'm going to glue the 3rd one on just so that you can see how I did it. And it really, I'm using my silicone mat because I'm using glue, some detailed glue here, and I don't want to get, and I already did. The silicone mat is a little luxury. Okay, what I did was I added glue only to the thicker pieces here, and I have a little die cut that didn't come out that I didn't notice. Sorry about that. We'll poke that out. Okay. And then what you're going to do is just put the glue on the tops of the wider pieces on all 4 sides, and then set your 3rd piece on top of it. The one on the bottom is a little bit off. I just want to fix that. Set your 3rd piece on top of it, and it'll dry. The glue will dry, and we'll have a nice oval frame a little later. when we're ready to put that on the card front. Okay, so now we'll get to the card. It really is very simple. So we'll start with one basic white layer, and this is going to go on the inside card base of the card base, as if you were decorating the inside of your card. Okay. There we go. And then this is the pattern I chose for the inside. So we'll put the pattern paper layer right over it. Just glue that on. This little fine tip applicator is really good. And you can get that at Amazon. They come in a bag. There's a few of them in a bag. I don't remember what the cost of them is, but they're inexpensive. They're not that expensive, and they're worthwhile, especially now when we're more of the detailed dies are coming out, you know. Okay, so that's that, and then we're going to put our writing layer. Oh, not yet. Yeah, we'll put that in, and then we'll work on the card front. Okay, so the writing layer goes right here, and we're going to stamp that. And what I did was I pulled one of the flower stamps from the stamp set, and I'm stamping it with Blushing Bride ink. There we go. And we'll put the writing layer on the card. I use the Stampin' Pierce, my Stampin' Pierce mat, for the stamp. When I stamp with a block, I do use it. My surface is very hard, this self-healing mat that I work on. And especially with a photopolymer stamp, not so much with a red rubber stamp, but with a photopolymer, you should have some sort of a little cushioning underneath it. It just gives it a little bit of give, and you get a better stamped image. So, okay, so we'll put this layer on. There we go. So that's done. So the inside of the card is pretty much done. We just have to put our little easel stop, and we'll work on the front layer. So now on this, it would be as if we were putting a layer on a card front, right? But we're putting glue only on this portion, the bottom scored portion of the card base, okay? Because the card the card layer is going to stick to that. We don't want it at the top to stick to the top. We don't want glue up there because that's going to form our easel. So once we have the glue only on the bottom portion, we will put the card layer on exactly the way we would do on a regular card front that we're working on. So there's that, but now the top portion isn't attached. See that? And then that forms the easel. And then we just go ahead and put our designer series paper layer or pattern paper, whatever you're going to be using. This design is really easy, and you know, of course, you don't have to use it. This is I'm getting to the end of my little glue here. Excuse me. So, okay, I'm going to get that right on the front. Okay, now we're ready for the frame. The frame is going to set right in the center of the card. And then the sentiment is going to set right inside the frame. So what we're going to do, since we know the frame is going to be directly in the center, the sentiment's going to be inside, we're going to put some glue on the directly onto the card front. And on the, I'm really having some glue issues today. Okay, there we go. So now this, just center that, make sure it's straight. There we go. And then the glue, we're going to put some glue again, the same way we glued the top layer on the oval, except now we're not going on the top of the oval, we're going on the bottom of our frame. See the thickness of it? So it really has some density to it. Okay, so we're going to turn it, and I'm going to get this glue working. Okay, there we go. And now we can set the frame right over the layer, and it really, did you hear that? I mean, I heard it, and it really kind of made a little bit of a noise, like it went down there right over the frame, and it's nice and tight, and there's no gap. That's how nicely this die cut cuts, really pretty. This is a die cut from the designer series paper, and I set this up to show you. It's on this pattern with the larger florals. There's a couple of different sizes of florals in the pattern paper. See, this is the same pattern paper, but it's a smaller version. This is the larger pattern, and this is this piece right here that the die fits right on, and it actually leaves you a little bit of an edge. It really looks pretty. I don't want it to be straight on the bottom. I want it to be kind of on the side because we're going to put a little gold. Okay, and then I'm going to put my little gold swirl. And these are flat, and they really have a pretty finish to them. They're shiny, but they're I don't know, to me they're shiny, but they're a matte. They're also a little bit of a matte, very light gold, not a gold. Okay, so the front of the card is done, and now we're going to work on the word celebrate with Evening Evergreen ink. The front sentiment is also stamped with Evening Evergreen. When you're setting this easel stop, I went up about 2 inches from the edge of the card base because I had my first one was closer down to the end. Now, it's a matter of personal preference. If you put it closer to the end of the cardstock down here, your easel is going to lay a little flatter. It's going to be more slanty. The further up you go on the card layer, the taller your easel front of the card will sit. So I put it up about 2 inches from the edge, and I just centered it and made sure it was straight, and I think that is, and that's it. And then your easel will come down, and a couple of cuts. The beautiful suite and designer series paper and oval frame make this so easy to put together. I wish you the best. I hope you have a great day, and remember to always express your creativity, and the only limitation is your imagination. Thank you for stopping by today.